How quick is this going to send through? That is the question. We are live, so that is still the same. That is still the same, but that looks pretty nice. Looks pretty nice. Just drop it because I don't want it to interfere with anything. We're officially live on the new PC. It lives, it breathes. It's gorgeous. Absolutely mwah. Oh, that I am so sorry, Brooke. I am so sorry. Is it 3? It must be 3 AM your time, actually, looking at it. That was a quick notification to message in the chat. I'll give you that one. I sincerely apologise for any inconveniences caused. Give it a hot minute. Don't want anything to die on me. Because this is a delicate, volatile situation that we're in right now. Right. So, PC good. PC is it's good. Lives, breathes. I'm just monitoring everything right now. Because I've literally butchered the settings this morning because I had a few issues with it last week. But it appears to be good. I've thrown together the settings. Keeping an eye on sort of like Task Manager, making sure nothing goes too bad. But right now, CPU usage streaming at 1080p, 60 FPS, a nice smooth 12% on the usage right there. Very, very nice. I've got a higher bitrate going as well. And everything appears to be running nicely, which is good because I had to basically fresh install this thing again last week. I've still got like loads of stuff to do. Like I've got my editing software to install. I've got my load of Steam games to install. Stuff like that. But it lives. It breathes. It breathes nice and quietly as well. You know, that makes me happy. So, next round. 16th round. P4 on the grid. Drawn rivalry, not good. Upgrades are stopped, so I'm just stacking up the points for the 4th season, which I'll play offline, because, you know, new F1 game end of this week. 6th in the drivers, I want to end 4th. 4th would be nice. Nothing more to say. Do it. Oh, I think I've got a cut in the top of my mouth. I just took a sip of Pepsi and it hurt. That should never happen. So the Red Bulls are going to be once again hard to beat. They're always hard to beat. They've been hard to beat since day friggin' one. I'm basically going to be streaming this all day, just FYI. I'm going to be flicking in and out due to the fact of, you know, background bits that need doing. But yeah, basically, what's the old race strat? That's not a nice race strategy at all. But I get the feeling it's what I'm going to need to do. So right, so I know that's good. That can go away. I don't really want to run 2 sets of hard tyres. But if I have to, then I sort of have to. I don't want to add another stint. Let's get rid of that. I'm just going to stick with that because the way these career modes have gone, like, there's bound to be a safety car. There's absolutely bound to be a safety car. So with that in mind, there's absolutely no point in anything, really. No point in anything. No point in anything whatsoever. So I feel as if a safety car has happened lap 1 in like the last 3 rounds. Could be wrong, could be right. I don't know. Let's get into it though. Let me know about the audio and everything, because I'm actually using the newest version of OBS to stream, and the sliders and everything's a little different from what I'm used to. So, you know, I've got to play around with it a little bit. I've done some testing, like some test recording and stuff. I found something I liked, but I don't know how that's going to come across in broadcast. Sounds good. Lovely. Can hear the game audio, but not too loud. I'm gonna guess, right? That's kind of roughly what I'm going for here. That CPU running at a solid 13% streaming 1080p. It's supposed to be game audio. That's concerning. You can't hear anything on the game then, I take it. No. Let me bump it up a little bit. Because I know, like, the default on the original OBS is very quiet. Let me do that. Tell me if you can hear any game audio. I've just bumped it hugely. No game audio. Odd. I'll tell you what, I'll bump it again to like there. Wait, do you know what? I'll leave it there. I'll put it to the original default because I was concerned of how loud it was going to be due to the fact that the original OBS the default was just like ear explodingly loud. Here we go then. Build into 5 lights. There it is. Oh, that was not a long hold whatsoever. Raikkonen's had a bad one. I've had a fly up. Past Verstappen, maybe. Be cautious into turn 1. No mistakes, hopefully. Push him wide. There we go. Oh, Massa. Go on, Massa. Come on, Felipe. Felipe pushing Verstappen. Massa's retained third into turn 4. That's pretty nice. Now we're going to be up behind Daniel Ricciardo. Raikkonen down to 5th off the start. These are my first laps with race fuel in the car. Verstappen back up to 3rd. I figured he would be. Oh no, Massa's fighting him. I'm not great through this 3rd sector. So we got to try and be aggressive if we can. Ricciardo might just have the legs on us though. Hopefully our slightly reduced downforce. Oh yeah, look at this, in a straight line. Yep, we can play games in a straight line. Good. That's what I want to see. Oh, come on, F1 2016 Slipstream. Give me all of your goodness. Into the lead. Nearly. Ricciardo's fighting. He's still there. Oh no! I've run out wide. So did he. And we keep the lead. Drop it back down to standard because I don't want to burn fuel too early on. Right now we need to settle down and focus. Because as with all the other races previously where I've taken the lead from the Red Bulls early on, they will come back at us. So it's about settling into a rhythm, dictating a solid pace that will mean I can basically filter into 3rd, because beating the Red Bulls is next to impossible. Look at that. Already making mistakes. Raikkonen followed through. Okay, so Raikkonen's up to 4th. Good news. Very good news. I'm paying attention to so many other things right now. I just need to focus on my racing. Focusing on the racing is the important bit. Okay. 37.8 by Kimi. Good thing to see he's running fast. He should be in the slipstream of Max Verstappen. And indeed he was. He's still battling him. He should get him into turn 4, I hope. Right, let's ignore behind just for now, and let's worry about us. Oh wow, already? What you got for me? No. 2 stops, my friend, 2 stops. I don't think the 3 stop is going to be beneficial. Ricardo's all over us. If I can push him back into Kimi. It's kind of what I'm going to hope to do here, based upon the fact that my performance appears to be not very solid. Here comes Danny Rick. Is anyone else running a 3 stop? If they suggested that to me, I would assume they would have suggested it to Kimi. Alright, so lap 8. Or lap 5 to 6 is the scheduled lap. Danny Rick's going to have a look around the outside. He's not going to have any luck, though. Raikkonen also fended off Verstappen. Good news. Very good news. And now we play the game of just following the pit strategy. Whoa, there's a moment. Put me right out of kilter, if that's the word. Ricardo's got a run, but it's not a good enough one. Raikkonen and Verstappen cruising up to the back, which is kind of what I expected. Oh no. Terrible mistake there. Oh. Kimi's got the best run. Kimi's going to take the lead. I've got understeer. Danny Rick's having a go. I'm boxed in behind the Ferrari. As Max Verstappen pits. Oh, look at this. Are we going to go 3 wide into turn 1? Is that actually what's going to happen? I don't have DRS, but the slipstream is so good. I daren't do it. I daren't. Oh, we've understeered into Ricardo. Around the outside. Get on the accelerator. We go for a dive into turn 4. I think we will. Get it just about slowed down. Beautifully done. Back up into second. Then we take to the grass. I am not driving well this morning. Right, Verstappen pit. So that indicates to me Verstappen could either be on a 2 or a 3 stop. I'm going to commit to the 2 with 2 sets of hard tyres. I'm going to assume that Kimi's going to do the same. Morning. Morning, Katie Taylor. How are you? How are you doing? I don't want to box this lap based upon the fact that I think Kimi might be coming in. If Kimi comes in, that's going to screw him. Plus Daniel Ricciardo. But Dan Ricciardo might be pitting. Ricciardo might be coming in. If Ricciardo comes in, we need to undercut him. Well, not undercut him, but we need to match him. What's Kimi doing? Does Kimi pit? Kimi does not pit. I'm going to take the pit stop then. Cover Ricciardo. I always get the line wrong. So Kimi now, undisrupted, will lead the race. We go on to a set of hard tyres. 2.3, we don't have to give up a position to Ricciardo. Ricciardo got held and is on soft tyres. So Daniel Ricciardo committing to a 3-stop strategy. Good, thank you, Helmer. I'm doing pretty damn good, thank you. I'm doing well. I'm dedicating myself to try and finish my Season 3 of F1 2016 today. Because obviously, you know, the new game comes out on Friday. And I'm streaming on a new PC. So it's good to see that it's handling everything pretty well. Got a long old slog through today, but I'm sure it'll be worth it. Oh, Verstappen up the road, so he's also committed to a 3-stop. I sort of figured that would be the case. So the aim of the game now, because Kimi will be coming in this lap, Verstappen's hit traffic, and I need to try and hold Ricciardo behind me for as long as possible. I'm going to be very curious to see what tyres Kimi's going to put on. I would assume he's following the Ferrari strategy, which is 2 sets of hard tyres. Now, while I don't like it, it might be a good idea to run the 2 sets of hard, because I personally think the 2 stop's going to be better. Here comes Danny Rick. He's more than welcome to that line, as long as he doesn't just chop across me, which is what he did. But I'm going back down the inside. I'm going to hang him out to dry it. Max Verstappen with the fastest lap of the race. Kimi Räikkönen comes out behind Max Verstappen. Daniel Ricciardo goes through. We're going to make a lunge. Raikkonen's on the hard tyre. Raikkonen also on the 2-stop. Two very bold moves on Daniel Ricciardo just there. That has complete faith in him as an AI. But Kimi has come out net second place. But that's fine, purely on the basis that the Red Bull of Verstappen, as well as the Red Bull of Ricciardo, have pit and fit soft tyres. And the longer they are stuck... Well, Ricciardo is stuck behind me, and the longer Verstappen is stuck in traffic, they're wasting that set of tyres, which you would have hoped they would have used as an undercut to get ahead of both of us. It hasn't worked for them. So Verstappen's going to side through the traffic. We are saving fuel. We're just saving fuel on mix 2 because I'd rather not compromise performance that much. So Verstappen got ahead of the Force India ahead. I am cruising up behind. I say cruising. Got to keep an eye on Danny Rick behind me, who's going to be having another run at me this lap. I'm not going to give him the inside this time. I'm going to make him go to the outside. That way, when I have to make the move, I haven't got to worry about him chopping across me. We'll hang him out to dry very nicely. We got a bad run out of that final corner as well. Good to see. Very good to see. So now Verstappen appears to be fighting his way through the traffic, and Kimi has not been able to get ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. That's not a good sign, considering I think Hülkenberg's also running the hard tyre. If that's the case, then it's not as if Kimi's going to have the benefit of an undercut. The Sauber ahead of Ericsson is on the medium, but he's holding all three of them up. So I've made keep making a mistake out of that right-hander. I can't afford to be running that wide. Anyone going to make a move? No one makes a move into the hairpin. I don't want to run into Kimi. But at the same time, I can't afford to lose time sat in this train. I suppose the more we cost Daniel Ricciardo, the better though. So, you know, it's weighing up all of the options. Where are the Mercedes in this is one of the questions I would like to ask. I'm going for it. I'm going for something this lap. Don't know what I'm going for, but I'm going for something. Hülkenberg's making the move on Ericsson. I'm going to make a move on all of them. Left it far too late. We all got through on the Sauber. Well, the Sauber pit, so, you know. Makes sense. Hülkenberg. Raikkonen's making the move on Hülkenberg. Oh my god, I've committed to a move which I didn't want to do. It's meant Ricciardo's got through. Oh no! Paying too much attention to what's going on behind. Danny. Contact with Danny Rick! Who's gone into Raikkonen? I was trying so hard to not hit my teammate that I hit someone else into my teammate. Oh, that scuppered Raikkonen's chances of a race win. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen has pulled out a big lead against me and is now way up the order. Cost them both a lot of time. They're going to be right down the back of the field now. That was... Oh, what is going on? It's like I've completely lost all my concentration. Right, come on, concentrate. That collision was a weird one. I got caught on the Red Bull as I tried to turn back across. Sorry, Kimmy. Right, Kimmy's in, so Kimmy clearly had damage as well, so that's unfortunate. It's not even as if he can just go long on that set of tyres. That's released Daniel Ricciardo. As if Danny Rick didn't have any damage. He hit both me and Kimmy. I think it's just time to knuckle down, really. Kimmy's basically out of this race, which is unfortunate because he could have had a win on the cards. Especially with the Red Bulls on the 3-stop. Which Daniel Ricciardo is still on, by the way. So he's got a lot to do from so far back. That's Max Verstappen in again. Now we are now in the net race lead. Due to the incident between Ricciardo, myself and Raikkonen, and then Verstappen pitting in for that set of tyres. It's going to be a weird one. I would quite like to know where the Mercedes are. I assume they all pit at the end of lap 6 and are behind me on the track. That's my assumption. I don't know if... Yeah, actually, no, that would turn out to be true, because I've just seen Hamilton is in 6th place. Viable strategy change. What is it, Mr. Jeffrey? Is it make a... I don't want to make a 3rd pit stop. I'm quite happy with the 2-stop strategy. Thank you very much. I'd also be quite happy if I could learn how to drive this track. That would be great. It's one of the corners I always struggle with, that right-hander. I don't know why that one, because this one is so much harder. And yet this one, I have less issues with. I don't get it. These hard tyres are wearing quite quickly, especially the left front. That could be why they want me to do 3 stops. It ain't happening, though. Gutierrez is about to start his 12th lap on a set of hard tyres. Sainz leads the race. All cars ahead all appear to be pitting. These all appear to be hard tyre runners. Slipstream on Gutierrez working very nice. Getting nicely up to the back of him into turn 1. Hopefully we can follow him through turn 2 nicely, and we can. It should look to set us up very nicely for a move into turn 4. I think it will. Thank you very much, Gutierrez. That was nice of you to not come across. That was a nice overtake. That was nice and clean to the books, really. After all, there's going to be some controversy being spoken after this Grand Prix about myself, Daniel Ricciardo, and Kimi Raikkonen. Raikkonen is in a fast enough car to make a recovery and get some points. Danny Rick also as well. Danny Rick is on the 3-stop strategy, so we'll see how that works out for them. Coming up to half distance already in this Malaysian Grand Prix. Perez comes in. Goes to show roughly the life of these hard tyres. Ah, WRL Shoemaker, hello. How is it going? Going good. That's what I like to hear. Gonna rush through the final 5. That's basically the plan. That's pretty much my plan for today, if I'm honest. Try and get them all done today. If I can't, I might say, this is no guarantee, if I can't get them all done, or, you know, whatever happens, I might do Abu Dhabi on Thursday as, like, you know, the last race, the last stream on F1 2016, on the last day that it is relevant, basically. But we'll see how it goes. I'd like to get them all done today, if I'm 100% honest. Right, so these tyres can still go a good few laps, especially as well if I want to get another set to go to the end. So I'm thinking lap 16 is a good one to pit on. Yeah, they want me to go 16 to 19, so that's fine. If you've just joined, Schumacher, it's been a bit controversial, this one. The 2 Red Bulls led off the line. Well, I say led off the line. They were 1-2. It was a Ferrari 3-4. I jumped Raikkonen and Verstappen and then took Ricciardo into turn 1 of the lap 2, so I led the race. The Red Bulls were on a 3-stop. Ferrari appeared to be on a 2. And after the first round of pit stops, scything our way through the traffic, it got to turn 1. There was Nico Hülkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen and Daniel Ricciardo. 4 into 1 were not going to go. And come turn 2, there was a bit of an incident in which Ricciardo was sandwiched between the Ferraris. Ricciardo and Raikkonen were the worst off. They went into the gravel. I was able to continue on. Kimi sustained damage, and that's why he's now down the back of the field, having the worst day of his life. And I'm trying to not die, all in the wild, being caught by Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. The 2 guys I would quite like to finish in front of, realistically. That's why the Mercs are 2-3. Yeah, exactly. That is why the Mercs are 2-3. They also appear to be running the 2-stop. I know one of them. I can't tell you which one. One of them pitted the lap after me, after starting on soft tyres. We've also, I'm going to assume Max Verstappen is 4th, because he pitted for, if he was following... Never mind. Never mind. I was going to assume he was in 4th due to the fact that he pitted for mediums a little while ago. But that's not really relevant anymore. Right, I'm going to come in this lap. Now, what I should do now is tell you the story about Lewis Hamilton's race, and hopefully we'll get the same result. But I honestly don't know. So we'll come in this lap, fit the hard tyre, and run to the end. You are not wrong. It's like, he pulled the Fernando Alonso. What's that? It's the lap before the last lap and I'm not in the points? Oh no, brakes. Oh, overheating. Oh dear, I've completely butchered that. Penultimate corner. God, this is bumpy. Hamilton also in. Get that slowed down. Race of the mechanics. Here we go. Come on, Ferrari boys, don't let me down. Oh, look at them. Oh, 1.8 by Ferrari. They're just the best. There goes Sainz. Oh, are we going to come out? I don't know who this is. This is Jolyon Palmer. We're coming out side by side with a man I'd rather not. And we've got ahead of him. That's nice. We've got 2 Renaults between me and Lewis Hamilton. That's excellent. See, the penultimate corner around here, I don't hate it that much. It's the corner at the top of the hill, the right-hander, that I struggle with the most. And I have no idea why. God, I've got to readjust to having grip again. Yeah, this corner just here, this right-hander. Not a fan of it. I have to be very cautious with it if I want to succeed in getting around it. Alright, Rosberg's in. Magnussen and Palmer. Alternate strategies as well, just noticed by the tyres. One of them's in, and Hamilton's got past the pair of them. Fantastic. That's not what I wanted. Carlos Sainz on his mediums, and another car up ahead. That sun going into that chicane is, sorry, the hairpin is not helping me. It's so bloody bright. See, this right-hander, it's so, is the only way I can describe it. Probably carried a bit too much speed into it that time around, so that'll explain why I had some issues with it. On the power. Right, so Button's in. That means it's just Sainz ahead of me. And Sainz has definitely got another pit stop to make, so I am net race lead. Lewis Hamilton is behind. Kimi Räikkönen is trying to do something. I don't know what he's going to try and do with the rest of his race, but if he could salvage any points whatsoever, because he was making an assault on Max Verstappen, and if he can get any points on him, obviously Verstappen is out of the race. Don't know how many laps Sainz has left, but I'd quite like to put him between me and Lewis as soon as possible. And as such, I'm making a go at it into the hairpin. Sorry, Sainz. One golden lap when the GP2 engine car. In all fairness, 2016 McLaren Honda was definitely better than 2017 McLaren Honda. 2017 McLaren Honda, I don't know how they managed to go backwards. I really don't. Oh, well. There goes the point in which Sainz was between me and Hamilton. Look at that! Woo! Fastest lap! Pulled it out of my arse. Now, if only I can keep that up. Well, actually, tell a lie, the fuel won't last much longer. Probably taking quite a bit of it out the tyres as well. Nonetheless. Grosjean! The hero! The hero for Haas up in third. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't understand how they went as far back as to the awfulness that was 2015. So, I might as well say it now while I'm here, because I'm a bit conflicted about it. But my 2017 career mode, for the longest time, and this was after one of the guys at work said that he would like to quite see me try and return McLaren to, you know, to like the title picture. So I was like, oh, 2017, I'll play McLaren. I'll do that. That'll be great. And then old Ben decides, yeah, you know what, I'm going to do McLaren. I'm like, oh. It's kind of, you know, when you got someone who literally has 100 times the fan base that you do. So I was like, I could still do McLaren because I was kind of looking forward to it. But there's other options, so I'm a little bit torn. I've got 4 teams I want to do this between, and I'll be going back to edited videos on it as well. So I'm just, you know, yeah. So I don't quite know who to be. I could still do McLaren. I've got 3 other options though. Raikkonen's in. I imagine to fit. Could he carry softs to the end? I doubt it. Oh, I've cruised. Top teams are not worth it. Pretty certain all other teams will be chosen by someone. Yeah, exactly. That's yeah. No, 100% agree with you. That was kind of my thought process. Because I didn't want to do what I did last year. Like, I don't want to start in Renault again because I did that last year. Well, for this game technically. So I didn't want to do that. I don't want to start in a top team because that defeats the whole purpose. It's like, oh, here's the career mode. Alright, I'm starting in Ferrari. Okay, I won the championship. Cool. So, defeats the purpose of it. I know who a few are doing, and I'm trying to avoid those. But obviously, there's only, like, if you take away Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull, you're left with 3 choices. And I want to do a team that I haven't driven for yet. So my choices are McLaren, Sauber, Force India, or Toro Rosso. I did a poll on Twitter. McLaren came out on top. So I'm like, I don't know. If I'm honest, I'm still thinking about it. You know? Williams, they're like top of the midfield, aren't they? That's the problem with Williams. They're like top of the midfield, and neither driver excites me as a teammate. You know, could always start in Sauber. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, Katie. I could start in Sauber. It would make storyline sense because I kind of want to tie it in to this career mode to a degree. Like, I wanted to tell a little bit of a story. Like, oh, you know, due to, you know, let's go on the premise of, like, oh, raw potential was shown due to race victories, but ultimately consistency lacked, and therefore Ferrari had decided to drop him. So that's why I'd go to a lower team. Yeah, I suppose they are, because I remember seeing, like, one of the first preview builds of the game where it had, like, it was 2017 this is, obviously, you know, where you got, like, Mercedes, it was Mercedes, Ferrari, very close, but Mercedes are on top, then Red Bull, then Williams. But then, obviously, in the last preview builds that you've seen people uploading, Ferrari have been the top team, and Force India are 4th? Are they 4th or 5th? I can't remember, honestly. But yeah, it's like, if I drove for Williams, I've got the choice of Massa, who love Felipe, gentleman, but, and then, you know, Stroll. So you would literally have, like, the mid-class team with arguably 2 rookies, as it is, in that regard of the sport. So, that's the way that I'm looking at it, at least. Yeah, it's pretty close between the pair of them, innit? It was nice to see like a different car at the top, other than Mercedes. But yeah, I agree with you. It's honestly, I would say the fastest car. Honestly, I don't think there's a raw fastest car at the moment this year. It literally depends on the track, is my personal opinion. Danny Rick still going for it. We'll see. I know I'll have a decision made by Friday, because I have Friday and the weekend off of work, so I will be just spending time making videos, doing races, putting in the hours. It's going to be good fun. Yeah, basically, Mercedes have got the most powerful engine, but they have struggled on street circuits. And have done for the last few years. I mean, remember 2015? Like, they got utterly decimated around Singapore. Right, let's drop back to standard for now, and I can save for when I need it. Raikkonen with the fastest lap, but he's well outside the points. He got... It was like the worst time when we had our collision. Hamilton's closing in. I'm not too nervous. I'm hoping to be able to defend from him. Rosberg up to P3, so I don't know what happened to Rosberg and why he's fallen so far back. He does like to, doesn't he? Oh, I've done nothing all afternoon. Let me just go like faster than everyone else. It's like that appears to be the conversation all the pundits have. Kimi showed the speed by getting the fastest lap at the end. Yeah, that's great, but what did he do for the rest of the race? Ah, well, you see, yeah, he did nothing. Apart from if he's up the front. If he's up the front, he's playing the rear gunner. If he's not up the front, then he's just faffing about. And I loved Kimi. Like, 2013, 2003 to 2009, biggest Kimi supporter. 2005 was an absolutely soul-crushing year for me. But he's just lost it. In my honest opinion, he's lost it. Whatever edge he had has gone. Two laps to go. Yeah, I mean, like, look at last year, for example. He was, like, the fastest guy. Like, not in a Mercedes. And I'm pretty sure if he had been in a Mercedes, he would have been the fastest guy at the end of last season. Like, he had a fantastic recovery in the second half of the season. It's like, great. If you could just do that for the whole season, tip-top. That was questionable. Like, I don't know if he just enjoys the final few races on the calendar against the first few. And obviously to each their own. But just last year was weird for Kimi. There was a lot of questions called in about if he was going to keep the drive or not. Which, again, is happening this year. But Seb Vettel's thrown his gone with, you know, if I get my say, I'd like Kimi. Right, one lap to go. Rich mixture for the final lap of the Grand Prix. And we should, fingers crossed, have this in the bag. Yeah, I agree, pretty much. I mean, there is no logical reason why at this point in the 2017 championship he should have less points than Daniel Ricciardo. And that's not a knock against Danny Rick. It's just the speed difference between the Ferrari and Red Bull this year. There is no reason he shouldn't be third or fourth. But he's like, not only is he behind Danny Rick, there's then like 50 points to Bottas. Here we go then. Back straight. And we're going to come through. And we're going to win the Malaysian Grand Prix. Controversial. Yeah, agreed. Verstappen's had a rotten bit of luck this year. Controversial Malaysian Grand Prix. But victory was secured. JB bringing home points for McLaren. I did what I set out to do, which was beat both Mercedes cars. So, victory for myself. I'm going to pretend I know who Harry Kane is. Is that a footballer? That's all I have to ask. We win. Lewis Hamilton second, Nico Rosberg third, Valtteri Bottas fourth, Felipe Massa fifth, Alonso sixth. A good points from McLaren today. Carlos Sainz came home in seventh in the end. Grosjean ninth. Ria Harriento just outside the points. Disappointing. It is a footballer. That explains why I didn't recognise the name. Danny Rick 14th and Kimi Raikkonen 19th place. He beat the Saubers. That's all he did. That's all he did. But he did set the fastest lap, so there you go. What does that do to the Drivers' Championship? Kimi Raikkonen plummets from second to fifth. Nico Rosberg takes second. It's all getting a bit juicy for second place in the championship, and I'm trying to catch up. Constructors-wise, we lost points to Mercedes, which is disappointing. But you know, the crash. We finally dropped some frames. We finally dropped some frames. But the crash that happened just after the first round of pit stops, where Kimi, myself, and Daniel Ricciardo had that accident. How are the Mercs ahead of you and Kimi when you two have won all the races the Red Bulls haven't? Because it's been very simple in that the Mercedes have been consistent while we have not. Like, if you could do a results checker for everyone, then you would probably see. I mean, like, you know my story. You know my story, right? This is my story. Very inconsistent. And I'm gonna say Kimi is the same. I honestly haven't been keeping track of his results. But that's, you know. So it is very interesting. Very, very interesting at this point. I mean, you've got 6 points separate second to fifth. I'm still trying my damn hardest to catch them. And Daniel Ricciardo has basically won this championship. Button on 18 points. Where's Alonso? Alonso on 60. 60? Guy's a madman. They're beating Haas. So Zara ahead of Haas. Haas was so much better when I left them at the end of last year. They've just gone down again. Manor. I've just realised Manor are in there. Look at that. That's great. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for Kuala Lumpur. I'm gonna be breaking these up into different streams as I always do, due to the fact it enables me for a bit of more ease when I eventually put them to public on YouTube. Thank you all for coming out. I'll be live again very soon.